As you all know, this happened on Friday in late afternoon, and it was also leaked on Twitter. Independent candidate RFK JR has left the 2024 presidential campaign, and he has put his support behind former President Donald Trump for the White House. Now, this has evoked a lot of emotions in me because I think that I'm a very big advocate for third-party candidates, and I think the exit of Kennedy from the race is pretty revealing in a number of cases. There are some people who see this as more of a betrayal, as I do. I think it's a betrayal of the movement that he put forward, but also other people, those who support maybe the Harris campaign, see this as not so surprising because he was there to hurt Biden and now Harris. So he was kind of like that was the strategy all along, or that's at least the speculation. I think it's a combination of both. I think he actually meant what he said. Like, he wanted to definitely run for president, and he wanted to push his ideas, but he was thrown out of the Democratic primary process and went independent precisely because he was thrown out of the Democratic primary process. And I think this is a genuine campaign, but the fact that he endorsed Trump is kind of like a betrayal to his movement, or the movement that he himself said that he believed in. You know, it's kind of like a walking contradiction of sorts. Trump did promise him some sort of position in his administration that involved health. Now, with that being said, let's look at the potential electoral impact it has. So in 538, we've seen a little bit of a shift here. They already denote the time in which he dropped out, which was this Friday, the 23rd of August. Today is the 25th. And as of this moment, this was just after, like a day after the Harris convention, and the day he dropped out, you saw a slight bump to Harris because of the convention and no real effect on the side of Trump. So this is not having much of an effect in the national polls. But then again, this is only just a couple of days from the moment he announced leaving the race. I do expect there to be a slight bump for Trump, but also a slight bump for Harris, since his supporters were what you would call quote unquote double haters. So people who were going to vote for him not because they were necessarily in favor of him, but they were tired of the two-party duopoly. Let's look at, but this is on the national level. Let's look at, for example, some of the swing states. Let's start with Arizona. Harris, even after the bump, is still up by 1.3%, and Arizona polls has been pretty accurate. Let's look at more states from the Rust Belt. And with that, I'm going to move to Georgia, where I think Trump is up. Yes, he is. Hasn't changed as much. You saw like even a decrease in his lead, but not really. It's a negligible change in the polls here. Trump is still up by 0.5% here. We go to North Carolina, another feature of the Sun Belt. You have Harris, but by a very negligible percentage point. If this continues, you still see Trump winning here because you've had in 2020, Biden was up and he still lost the state. So it's a very negligible effect. Again, we still need to see more polls in order for us to make a determination, right? Let's go look at the Rust Belt. We have Harris up in Pennsylvania. She was up during the Kennedy announcement, still up right now. Let's look at Wisconsin, for example. We have Harris up by the same, slightly down, not too much, 3.7%. And let's look at the final swing state, which is Michigan. She's up by 3%. So 3.3%, slightly down since the announcement of Kennedy dropping out of the race and endorsing Trump. So pretty negligible effects so far, but I mean, it will take 1 or 2 weeks for us to see the real effects of the Kennedy campaign dropping out, RFK Jr. dropping out of the race, which is, I would say, is pretty notable, but also I would see it as, my assessment is that it's not shocking, but it's also pretty disappointing coming from a independent campaign, right? I would have expected much more from a third-party candidate, much less a third-party candidate with the Kennedy name on him. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, share this video with your friends, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.